What's going on, everyone? So this video is going to be about tips for short riders. So number one, if you're a newer rider, I recommend getting a bike that you can get both feet down on the ground to your comfort level. Maybe that's just your tippy toes or both feet flat, but keep in mind, the more experience you get, the more comfortable you get with your bike. You don't have to put both feet down on the ground. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. For example, my right foot almost never touches the ground. I just put my left foot down flat and my right foot stays on the foot peg on the rear brake, which is how you stop and start on hills anyway. So try to do that. If you have a bike that's a little bit tall for you, the easiest thing to do is just to remove a little bit of the cushion on the seat. That'll drop you down an inch or two. That's probably the easiest, cheapest, and best thing to do. I don't recommend getting lowering kits, because it'll mess up the rake and trail, the ground clearance. You just do more harm than good. And so a couple things to think about. So if you're a short rider, I just got new suspension on the bike, right? Shout out Race Tech. If I'm on the bike, I mean, it's taller now because the springs are a little bit stronger. So like I'm just tippy-toeing it, right? I can't put both feet down flat. So this is very unstable and not confidence inspiring, and I don't do this. So before I come to a stop, I move my butt off a little bit, like half butt cheek off. And I put my left foot down flat and I lean the bike slightly to my left so I know it's stable. And it's almost like I'm standing up completely. See that? Because it's tall. Just like if you ride a tall dirt bike, my old 1200 GS was really tall. This is how you ride taller bikes. Your right foot goes over top of it, like the back of your leg is on the seat. Your foot's on the brake, on the foot peg, but your left foot is flat. That's way better than having just both feet teeter-tottering, right? It doesn't build too much confidence that way. So I recommend as you come into a stop, you move your butt off a little bit, and when you come to a stop, lean the bike slightly into the direction where your leg is at, left foot perfectly flat, back of your thigh on the seat, and then you're perfectly fine like that, right? So I'm going to show you a couple things that you could do to practice to get your confidence up, as well as a couple fun things to do. If you're brave enough, you could try some advanced level short rider tips. I'll show you. It's definitely not something you'll actually do on the street, but it's just fun to practice anyway. So first I'll show you a couple things to do just to build your confidence and practice what that is. Of course, go to a parking lot, find some place to go and practice this stuff. I don't recommend doing it for your first time at a stoplight. See how it feels in a big parking lot somewhere. And you'll do this maybe 10 minutes and you'll be comfortable with it, and you realize you don't have to spend all this money on suspension, lowering kits, and do all that kind of stuff. Just realize both feet do not have to go on the ground. So I was going on there, but pay attention to what my body does, what foot goes down, and where the bike is leaning as I come to a stop. Left foot goes down, right foot stays on the peg, and the bike is slightly leaned to the left, so it's nice and stable. If I try to keep it straight up, then it's going to get too much weight to go that way, and you want to fall that way and have to do this. And the same thing happens if you want to put your right foot down. Same thing, move your butt off a little bit, right foot goes down flat, bike leans to the right. The reason I don't do it this way is because I want my foot on the brake, so that way I don't have to worry about my hands holding me still. Like if I'm on a hill, same thing. I don't want to use the clutch and brake at the same time to hold me still. So on a hill, you stop the bike, right foot on the brake holds me still. It'll hold me and the bike up. Now I can just worry about my hand on the throttle. You ease out the clutch, give some gas, and you'll go. Just come to a stop like that. You just practice it over and over again. I'll show you one more time. So you can try that to build some confidence up. And I also recommend trying coming to a stop using your rear brake to come to a stop. And then you're taking your hand off your handlebar, left foot goes down only, right hand is up in the air. Right foot is using the rear brake to get yourself to slow down and come to a stop. It's just a confidence builder you could do. Check it out. Take off, stop, and do that a bunch of times. It builds your confidence up. So you're just pulling the clutch. If say you're in third gear coming to a stoplight, pulling the clutch, go all the way back down to first. You know you have to stop. Then you get your braking down with both brakes, rear brake, front brake combination, doesn't really matter. Come to a nice controlled stop, but the last 3 feet, your rear brake mainly slows you down and actually stops the bike. Zero throttle, of course. Take your hand off, move your butt back a little bit, then half butt cheek off, your left foot goes down flat. This is something you can practice. So here's the little bit advanced level thing if you want to actually practice this. So if you're a short rider and the bike is really tall, you could do this if you want to. If you're a newer rider, you're probably not ever going to attempt this because you could probably crash easily. But even if you're not really a short rider and you just want to practice something for fun to gain some confidence, you take off standing like this. You put your left foot on the peg and take off. And once you get going, you stand up and put your right leg down over top of the bike. So check it out. Advanced level. Obviously, if you're going to attempt that, the moment you put weight on the inside foot peg, it's going to want to fall over. So you got to kind of ease out the clutch slowly, push the bike more that way to compensate for your weight going to the inside. So that's how you could take off if you want to try that for fun. Right? You're obviously not going to do that on the street. And then there's something else you could do. You could kind of get off the bike before you come to a stop to practice as well. So I want to start like I just did, but this time when I come to a stop, you get off the bike the same exact way. Something fun to do. I'm off the bike. That's fun to do in practice. It's like a little party trick, but it builds confidence with you and the bike. So if you're really short, the main tip is understand you don't have to put both your feet down. You can if you want to, but if you can't, and you want the bike, you're not going to switch out bikes to a bike that fits you better. Take out some cushion of the seat. That's probably the best before you do any type of lowering kit. I don't recommend that. And then just realize you could just get a half butt cheek off. Keep your back of your right leg on the seat. Foot on the outside foot peg, lean the bike slightly left and have your left foot planted. So if you do that, then you'll be pretty much good. So that's, if there's anything else that you learned, because you're a short rider, feel free to comment below and so everybody else can benefit from it. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.